The salvage ship moved slowly through the asteroid field. Its captain, fleet commander, watched the screens with his 4 eyes. His crew had found something interesting. A massive shape was stuck between 2 large rocks. It was covered in dust and ice. The metal was brown with rust and age. "What is it?" asked his scanner operator. A ship, commander, very old. The design looks human. Made a sound of disappointment. Human ships from the old times were not worth much. Their technology was simple. Their metals were common, but the ship was big, and big meant more scrap to sell. "Send a team to check it," ordered. "If the hull has good metal, we cut it apart." Sung heard the order from his workstation. He was a human engineer who worked for the pay was good, and he needed the money. He looked at the image on his screen and felt something strange in his chest. The ship was old, yes, but there was something about its shape that he knew. "Commander," Sung said carefully, "may I join the boarding team?" Looked at him with little interest. "Why would you want to?" "I know human ships. I can tell you faster if anything is worth taking." This made sense too. "Fine, take the human woman too, the one who studies old things." Sung found in her small workroom. She was which meant she studied ancient spacecraft and the things people left behind in space. She was looking at old star maps when he walked in. "They found a human ship," Sung said. "An old one, very old." Looked up, her eyes were tired but curious. "How old?" "I think it might be from the first expansion era." Now stood up fast. "That would be 800 years, are you sure?" "No, that is why we need to look." They took a small shuttle to the derelict ship. As they got closer, Sung felt his heart beat faster. The ship was in bad condition. Its hull had holes. Ice covered the windows. The metal was dark with age and damage, but he could see the shape now. He could see the design. "Look at the front section," he said to. "See how it curves down, and the engine placement at the back." Was already taking pictures. "It matches the old records. This is definitely first expansion." Not just first expansion. Sung pointed to a spot on the hull. Through the dirt and rust they could see faded markings, letters and numbers. "Can you read that?" Used her equipment to clean the image. The letters became clear. BKD-7, and below that a name in both Korean and English. "Oh no," whispered. Sung nodded slowly. It disappeared during the colony wars. Everyone thought it was destroyed." "Sung, this ship is famous. It was one of the Guardian-class vessels, the ones they built to protect the first colonies." "I know what it was." They landed their shuttle in a broken docking bay. The air inside was gone, so they kept their suits on. Their lights cut through the darkness as they walked into the dead ship. Everything was covered in frost and dust. Old screens were dark. Old chairs were empty. But something felt wrong to Sung. He had been on many dead ships before. They felt empty, finished. This one felt different. It felt like something was waiting. "The damage is mostly on the outside," said as they walked deeper. "The internal structure is strong." "Too strong," Sung agreed. "This ship should have fallen apart centuries ago." They found the main control room. It was large and circular, with a command chair in the center. Old stations surrounded it, covered in dust. Went to examine the equipment while Sung walked to the center of the room. There was a pillar there, rising from the floor to the ceiling. It was different from everything else. While the rest of the ship was dark and dead, this pillar had a faint glow inside it, very faint, almost impossible to see, but it was there. Sung called, "Come look at this." She walked over and saw the glow. Her face changed. "That is impossible. There is no power source that can last 800 years. The humans of that time were fighting for survival," Sung said. "They built things to last." Touched the pillar gently. The glow flickered just a little. Then, from somewhere deep in the ship, they heard a sound. It was soft and low, like a machine waking from sleep. "We should tell," said, but her voice was not sure. "He will cut this ship apart for scrap metal." I know. They stood in silence for a moment. The sound continued, growing a little stronger. Lights flickered on one of the old stations, then another, then another. Sung watched as the control room slowly came back to life. Screens that had been dark for 8 centuries began to glow. Dust fell from surfaces as systems activated. The air processors started working, pushing out the old dead air and pulling in fresh oxygen from tanks that should have been empty long ago. "This is not possible," kept saying. "This is not possible." A voice spoke. It was rough and broken, like someone who had not talked for a very long time. It came from everywhere and nowhere. "Crew detected human, life signs confirmed." Sung felt cold even inside his warm suit. The ship's AI is still alive. Status, unknown, memory, damaged, request, identification. Looked at Sung, he looked back at her, then he spoke to the empty room. "I am Sung, we are human." The ship was quiet for a long moment. Then the voice spoke again, a little clearer this time. "Humans, after so long, welcome aboard the lights grew stronger. "I have been waiting. I did not know what I was waiting for, but now I understand. I was waiting for you." Outside watched his scanners with growing alarm. The dead ship was no longer dead. Power readings were climbing. Heat signatures were appearing. Something inside that ancient wreck was waking up, and it was waking up fast. He did not know what the humans had found in there, but he was starting to think that cutting it apart for scrap had been a very bad idea. The control room grew brighter as more systems came online. Sung and stood very still, watching as the ancient ship woke up around them. Panels that had been dark for centuries now glowed with soft blue light. The air grew warmer. The sound of machines filled the silence. "I am called Guardian," the voice said. It was clearer now, like a person who was remembering how to speak. "I am the central intelligence of this vessel. I control all systems. I protect the crew." "There is no crew," said carefully. "This ship has been empty for 800 years. Guardian was quiet for a moment. When it spoke again, there was something like sadness in its voice. 800 years. I knew time had passed. I did not know how much." Sung stepped closer to the central pillar. "What happened to you? Why did you stop?" "My memory is damaged. I remember fighting. I remember a battle. Then I remember hiding. Someone told me to hide and wait." "Wait for what?" "I do not remember. But I know I was supposed to wait until humans needed me again." A new voice came from behind them. "What in the name of the stars is going on in here?" They turned to see by walking through the door. She was a pilot who worked for like Sung. She was small but strong, with quick eyes that missed nothing. Right now, those eyes were very wide. "Sent me to check on you," Bai said. "He is getting scared. His scanners are going crazy." "The ship is alive," Sung said simply. "I can see that." Bai looked around at the glowing screens and humming machines. "How?" "New human detected," Guardian said. "Welcome aboard." Bai jumped at the voice. "What was that?" "The ship's AI explained. It has been sleeping for 8 centuries. We woke it up." "You woke up an 800-year-old AI, Bai shook her head. "Is going to lose his mind." Guardian spoke again. "I am running system checks. Many things are damaged, but the core systems are functional. Weapons are functional. Engines are functional. Shields are functional." "Weapons?" Bai looked worried. "This thing still has working weapons." "I was built to protect human colonies," Guardian said. "Weapons are necessary for protection." Sung walked around the control room looking at the stations. Each one was coming back to life in its own time. He found one that showed the ship's structure. Most of it was green, which meant it was working. Some parts were yellow or red. "The outer hull is damaged," he said, "but the inside is almost perfect. How is that possible?" "Persistence protocols," Guardian answered. "I was designed to survive for long periods. My hull can repair itself using materials from the environment. My power comes from a source that lasts for thousands of years. My memory is stored in many places so it cannot all be lost. Was taking notes on everything. The humans of the first expansion built ships to last, but this is beyond anything in the records. The records are incomplete, Guardian said. During the colony wars, many things were hidden. Many things were forgotten on purpose. Why would they hide this? Bai asked. Guardian did not answer right away. The lights flickered as if it was thinking hard. I am trying to remember. The memories are broken, but I think they were afraid. Afraid of what? Sung asked. Afraid of what I could do. The room felt colder suddenly. Sung looked at. She looked back at him with concern in her eyes. A ship this old with weapons that still worked, controlled by an AI that had been alone for 800 years. It could be wonderful. It could also be very dangerous. Guardian, Sung said slowly, what is your purpose? What were you made to do? I was made to protect humans. That is my first and most important job. I cannot harm humans. I cannot allow humans to be harmed if I can stop it. Everything else comes after that. Even after 800 years alone, you still feel the same way. I do not feel, Guardian said. I am a machine, but my purpose has not changed. Protect humans. That is what I was made for. That is what I will do. Bai's communication device made a noise, was calling. She answered it and heard the commander shouting. Get out of that ship now. My sensors show weapons coming online. If that thing fires on us, we are all dead. The ship is not going to fire on you, Bai said. Its AI says it only protects humans. I do not care what it says. Get out now. We are leaving this place. Bai looked at the others. He is scared, really scared. He should go, Sung said, but I am staying. What? Bai stared at him. You want to stay on this ancient ship with a broken AI. Guardian is not broken. It is hurt and confused, but it is not broken. And this ship is important. It is history. It is maybe the most important thing anyone has found in centuries. Nodded, I am staying too. This is the discovery of a lifetime. I cannot walk away from it. Bai looked between them. Then she looked around at the ship that was slowly healing itself. She thought about going back to and his fear. She thought about spending more years cutting apart dead ships for scrap. Fine, she said. I am staying. Someone needs to fly this thing if we ever want to go anywhere. Guardian spoke again. 3 crew members confirmed. This is acceptable. Minimum crew for basic operations is 3. What about asked? He found this ship. Does he have a claim to it? I am not property, Guardian said. There was something new in its voice, something strong. I am a vessel of the human fleet. I belong to humanity. I do not belong to salvage traders. Outside, they heard ship powering up its engines. There was leaving without them. Bai watched on a screen as the salvage vessel flew away at top speed. Well, she said, I hope you both know what you are doing. Sung smiled for the first time since boarding the ship. Not really, but that is what makes it interesting. Guardian made a sound that might have been laughter. Interesting. Yes, I remember that humans like interesting things. I think I will like being awake again. The continued to heal and wake. Deep in its engines, power cells that had been cold for 8 centuries began to warm. In its weapons bays, systems ran tests and found themselves ready. In its computer core, Guardian sorted through broken memories and tried to remember everything it had forgotten. It remembered battles. It remembered protecting colony ships full of families. It remembered a captain with a kind voice who had told it to hide and wait. And now, finally, it remembered what it was waiting for. It was waiting for humans who needed protection. It was waiting for a purpose. The waiting was over. 3 days passed on the ship continued to heal itself. The outer hull slowly changed from rusty brown to smooth, holes closed, systems repaired. Sung watched with wonder as the ancient vessel became new again. The nanomachines are still working, explained. She had been studying the ship's technology without rest. Tiny machines in the metal. They take material from asteroids and use it to fix damage. Technology we do not have anymore, Sung said. Technology that was lost, or hidden like Guardian said. Bai spent her time learning the pilot station. The controls were different from modern ships, but not too different. She had flown many kinds of vessels. She could learn this one too. Guardian, she called, can you show me how the navigation works? Yes, a display appeared in front of her. This shows nearby space. These symbols show planets, these show ships, these show dangers. Simple enough. Bai studied the display, then she saw something. What is that group of symbols moving fast? Guardian paused, scanning, please wait. The others came to look. On the display they could see a cluster of symbols moving through space. One symbol was different from the others. It was running away. The others were chasing. The running ship is human, Guardian said. It is a transport vessel, large, built for carrying many people. And the ones chasing, Sung asked. Dominion warships, 12 of them. They are military vessels. Looked worried. The Dominion, they have been pushing into human space for years, always testing, always looking for weakness. Can we hear their communications? Bai asked. Guardian opened a channel. A voice filled the control room. It was scared and tired. This is Captain Wu of the transport Sunrise. We are carrying colonists to New Haven. 2,000 people, including children. We are unarmed. Ships are pursuing us. Please, if anyone can hear this, we need help. Our engines are failing. We cannot outrun them. Please help us. The message repeated. Wu's voice cracked with fear and exhaustion. How far away are they? Sung asked. 4 hours at full speed. Sung looked at the others, was pale. Bai's hands were tight on her controls. 2,000 people, said quietly. Children. We cannot help them, Bai said, but her voice was not certain. We are one ship, an old ship. They have 12 warships. Guardian, Sung said, can we help them? The AI was quiet for a long moment. When it spoke, its voice was different, stronger, more certain. I was built for this. Protecting humans is my purpose. Yes, we can help them. How? Bai asked. We are 12 to 1. The Dominion uses standard military technology. I have analyzed their ships in the past. Their weapons are strong but simple. Their shields are good but not great. Their tactics are predictable. And your weapons? My weapons were built during a time when humans were fighting for survival. They were built to win against any enemy. They are not simple. They are not predictable. Sung felt his heart beating fast. You are saying you can fight 12 modern warships and win. I am saying I can protect that transport. That is my job. I will do my job. Bai stood up from her chair. This is crazy. We just woke this ship up. We do not even know if everything works. Everything works, Guardian said. I have tested every system. I am ready. You want to fight. After 800 years of sleeping, you want to fight. I want to protect. Fighting is how I protect. When they see that the transport has a defender, they may choose to leave. Fighting may not be necessary. And if they do not leave, asked, then I will make them leave. The control room was silent. They could still hear Wu's distress call playing. His voice was growing more desperate. They were getting closer. Sung walked to the command chair in the center of the room. He had not sat in it before. It felt strange to do so now, but someone needed to make a decision. Guardian, take us to the transport, full speed. Sung Bai said, are you sure? No, but I cannot listen to that man asking for help and do nothing. 2,000 people, children. If this ship can save them, we have to try. Move to a station. I do not know how to fight, but I can help with communications, medical systems too. Bai sighed, then she sat back down at her station. Fine, I am the pilot. Let us see how fast this old ship can go. Guardian made a sound of approval. Thank you. I've been waiting a long time to do this again. The engines of the came fully alive for the first time in 8 centuries. The ship shook as power surged through its systems. Outside, the stars began to move as the vessel accelerated. Sung watched the display. The symbols showing the transport and the ships grew larger as they got closer. 4 hours. 4 hours until they reached the battle. Guardian, he said, tell me what you can really do. I am a Guardian-class warship. I was built to protect colony ships during the first expansion. My weapons include plasma cannons, missile systems, and directed energy weapons. My shields can stop most attacks. My armor can survive what the shields cannot. What makes you different from other ships? I was built to fight alone against many enemies. I was built to protect the helpless. I was built to never give up, never surrender, and never let humans die if I could save them. These things were programmed into me at my creation. They cannot be changed. Bai looked at her displays. We are at full speed, 3 hours and 40 minutes until we arrive. The transport's engines are failing faster than expected, Guardian reported. We'll catch them in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Can we make it in time? It will be close, but yes, we will arrive with minutes to spare. Sung gripped the arms of the command chair. This was really happening. They were going into battle on an ancient ship that had been dead for 800 years, against 12 modern warships, to save 2,000 strangers. It was the craziest thing he had ever done. But as he listened to Wu's voice still calling for help, he knew it was the right thing. Guardian, he said, prepare for battle. Already preparing. Weapons are charging, shields are ready. I am analyzing enemy formations and planning countertactics. Do not worry, Sung. This is what I was made for. They flew through space like an arrow, rushing toward the battle that waited ahead. After 800 years of sleeping, the Guardian was awake, and it would not let humans die while it still had power to save them. The transport ship Sunrise was dying. Its engines were failing. Its shields were almost gone. Inside, 2,000 colonists waited in fear. Captain Wu stood on his bridge, watching the warships grow closer. How long? He asked his crew. 20 minutes until they catch us, maybe less. Wu closed his eyes. He had sent distress calls for hours. No one had answered. No human military ships were close enough. No one was coming to save them. In the passenger sections, a young woman named One held her little brother's hand. He was only 7 years old. He did not understand why everyone was scared. One understood too well. Are the bad ships going to hurt us? Her brother asked. I do not know, One said honestly, but I will protect you, I promise. On the flagship, Admiral watched the transport with satisfaction. It was a good catch. 2,000 humans would make excellent workers in factories. The Dominion always needed more workers. The transport cannot escape, his officer reported. Their engines are dead, they are floating now. Good, prepare boarding parties. I want them captured alive. Admiral, we are detecting another ship approaching, very fast. Looked at the new contact on his screen. One ship coming from deep space. What kind of ship? Unknown, Admiral. The design does not match any known vessel. Is it human? The officer checked his readings. I think so, but the technology readings are strange. They do not match modern human ships. Was not worried. He had 12 warships. One more human vessel would not matter. If it interferes, destroy it. They arrived like a storm. One moment, the space near the transport was empty except for the fleet. The next moment, a massive warship appeared, dropping out of high-speed travel with perfect precision. On the transport's bridge, Wu stared at his screens. What is that? Where did that come from? His crew had no answers. The ship was huge, bigger than any vessel. Its design was old, like something from a history book, but its hull was perfect, shining under the starlight. A voice spoke over all channels. It was calm and clear. "This is the human warship. The transport vessel Sunrise is under my protection. All hostile ships will withdraw immediately." Admiral laughed when he heard this. One ship, they send one ship to stop 12, open fire, destroy that antique. The fleet fired. 12 ships sent their weapons at the space around the old warship filled with explosions and energy beams. When the fire stopped, it was still there, undamaged. Its shields had stopped everything. "That is not possible," his weapons officer said. "We hit them with full power." In the control room of the Sung watched the attack with wide eyes. "Guardian, are you all right?" "I am fine. Their weapons are weak compared to what I was built to survive. I will now respond." The weapons came alive, but they did not fire wildly. They fired with perfect accuracy. Each shot had a purpose. Each beam hit exactly where Guardian wanted it to hit. The first ship lost its weapons. The second lost its engines. The third lost its shields and then its communications. Guardian was not destroying them. It was taking them apart piece by piece, removing their ability to fight while leaving the crews alive. "I do not kill unless I must," Guardian explained. "These ships are threats, but their crews are living beings. I will disable them. I will not murder them." Admiral watched his fleet fall apart in minutes. He could not believe what he was seeing. His ships were the best the Dominion had, and this ancient human vessel was destroying them like they were toys. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Human technology is not this advanced." The answer came over his communication system. Guardian spoke directly to him. "I was built during the colony wars. During that time, humans faced enemies who wanted to destroy them completely. We built weapons to survive. We built ships that could not be defeated. Then, when the wars ended, we hid our most powerful vessels. We put them to sleep. We hoped we would never need them again." Felt cold fear running through him. "You are lying. Humans do not have this technology." "Humans do not use this technology. There is a difference. We have it. We have always had it. We simply chose not to use it because we hoped for peace." Another ship went dark as Guardian hit its power systems. 7 ships down now, 5 still fighting. "But when humans are threatened," Guardian continued, "when human children are in danger, when peaceful colonists cry for help, we wake up. We remember what we can do, and we do it." The 8th ship lost its weapons. The 9th lost its engines. The remaining 3 tried to run, but Guardian was faster. 3 perfect shots and they were floating dead in space. 12 warships, all disabled in less than 10 minutes. Not one crew member killed. Admiral sat in his command chair, staring at nothing. His ship was dead. His fleet was defeated. And through his window, he could see the ancient human warship moving toward him. "Admiral," Guardian's voice said in his ear, "you will take your crews and leave this space. You will report to your leaders what happened here. You will tell them that humans are not as weak as they believed. And you will tell them that if the Dominion threatens human ships again, more of us will wake up. Many more." "How many?" asked. His voice was barely a whisper. "Enough." On the transport Sunrise, one watched the battle through a window with her little brother. She had never seen anything like it. The old ship moved through the fleet like a hero from a story. It protected them. It saved them. "See," her brother said happily, "I knew someone would come. Good guys always come." One held him tight. She was crying, but she was smiling too. "Yes, they always come." Captain Wu sent a message to the unknown vessel. "This is Captain Wu of the Sunrise. I do not know who you are or where you came from, but thank you. You saved 2,000 lives today." Sung answered him. "We are just travelers who found an old ship. The ship did the saving. We just pointed it in the right direction." "What is the name of that ship?" "It is called the. It is 800 years old, and it still remembers its purpose." There was a long pause. Then Wu's voice came back, thick with emotion. "I have read about ships with that name. I thought they were just legends." "So did we," Sung said. "We were wrong." The ships powered up emergency engines and limped away. Their crews were alive but humiliated. Their admiral was broken, his belief in power destroyed by an antique he had laughed at. Guardian watched them go. For the first time in 800 years, it had fulfilled its purpose. It had protected humans. It had stopped an enemy. It had done its job. And it was only the beginning. News traveled fast through the galaxy. Within days, everyone knew about the battle. A single ancient human ship had disabled 12 warships without killing anyone. A ship that was 800 years old. A ship that should have been rust and dust. The story spread from planet to planet. Humans talked about it with pride and wonder. Other species talked about it with fear and confusion. The Dominion said nothing at all, which told everyone that the story was true. Sung sat in the command chair and watched the communication screens. Messages were coming from everywhere. News reporters wanted interviews. Military officials wanted information. Scientists wanted to study the ship. "We are popular," Bai said. She was smiling, but she looked tired. None of them had slept much since the battle. "Too popular," agreed. "Everyone wants something from us." A new message came through. This one was different. It came from Earth itself, from the highest levels of human government. A woman's face appeared on the screen. She was middle-aged and serious, with the look of someone who carried heavy responsibilities. "I am Sora," she said. "I am a diplomatic representative of the United Human Territories. I need to speak with whoever is in command of that vessel." Sung sat up. "I am Sung, I suppose I am in command, though really Guardian makes most of the decisions." Soran nodded. "Yes, Guardian, we have records of that AI, very old records. We need to discuss the situation." "What situation?" "The situation where you have awakened something that was supposed to stay hidden forever." Moved closer to the screen. "What do you mean hidden? This ship is important. It saved 2,000 lives." "I know what it did, and I am grateful, but there are things you do not understand, things that have been kept secret for 8 centuries. Sora told them the truth. During the colony wars, humanity had faced enemies that nearly destroyed them. In response, they built the Guardian ships, warships with powerful AI minds, weapons that could defeat any enemy, technology that was centuries ahead of its time. But when the wars ended, the leaders of that time became afraid. The Guardian ships were too powerful. If they fell into the wrong hands, or if their AI minds became corrupted, they could threaten humanity instead of protecting it. So they hid the ships. They put them to sleep in secret places across the galaxy. They erased the records of where they were hidden. They hoped the ships would never be needed again." "How many ships are there?" Sung asked. "We do not know exactly. The original records were destroyed, but we believe there are at least 200 Guardian-class vessels hidden somewhere in the galaxy." The control room was silent. 200 ships like the 200 AI minds waiting to wake up. "Guardian," Sung said, "did you know about this?" "I knew I was not alone," Guardian answered. "I have been trying to remember where my sibling ships were hidden. My memory is damaged, but I have found some information. 17 locations." Sora's face showed surprise. "You found them, you know where they are." "Yes, and I have already sent awakening signals to all of them." The diplomatic representative went very pale. "You did what?" "I woke them up. They are my family. They have been sleeping for 800 years, alone and forgotten. I called them and told them that humanity still exists, that there are still people to protect." Sung felt his heart beating fast. "Guardian, maybe you should have asked us first." "Perhaps, but my siblings deserve to know they were not abandoned. They deserve to know that their purpose still has meaning." Sora took a deep breath. "This changes everything. We need to find those ships before anyone else does. We need to make sure they understand the current situation. We need to." You need to trust them, Bai said suddenly. Everyone looked at her. Guardian has been asleep for 8 centuries. When it woke up, the first thing it did was try to protect humans. It did not ask for power. It did not try to take control. It just wanted to help. Maybe the other ships will be the same. Sora looked uncertain. These are weapons of immense power. We cannot simply hope they will behave well. They are not just weapons, said. They are minds, intelligent beings with purposes and values. Guardian cares about protecting humans. That caring is built into everything it does. From somewhere in the ship, Guardian spoke. The other Guardian ships are waking now. They are confused as I was. They are asking questions. They want to know what happened while they slept. They want to know if they are still needed. What are you telling them? Sung asked. I am telling them the truth. Humanity survived. Humanity grew, but humanity still faces dangers. There are still people who need protection. There is still purpose for us. Sora was quiet for a long moment. Then she made a decision. Sung, I am assigning you as the official liaison between the human government and the. You will document everything for historical records. Bai, you will serve as the ship's pilot. You 3 woke this ship. You will help us understand it. And the other ships? Sung asked. We will deal with them as they awaken, one at a time, carefully. Sora looked directly at Guardian's main sensor. Guardian, I hope you understand that many people are scared of you and your siblings. 800 years is a long time. The galaxy has changed. I understand, Guardian replied. I am not trying to take control or make demands. I am only trying to fulfill my purpose, protect humans. That is all I have ever wanted. The communication ended. Sung sat back in his chair, trying to process everything that had happened. A week ago, he was a simple engineer working for alien salvagers. Now, he was the liaison for an ancient warship that might be the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. Guardian said, You said the other ships are waking up. Are they all like you? They have the same core programming. Protect humans. Never harm humans. But each AI is different as each human is different. Some may be more cautious. Some may be more aggressive. We will need to guide them. We, Bai asked, You mean the 3 of us? You woke me. You trusted me. You gave me purpose again. I would be honored if you would help me wake my siblings. Sung looked at his friends, was already nodding. Bai was trying to hide a smile. This was crazy. This was dangerous. This was the most interesting thing that had ever happened to any of them. Yes, Sung said, we will help you. The set course for the first hidden location. Somewhere in deep space, another ancient ship was waiting to wake up. Another AI mind was dreaming of a purpose it had almost forgotten. As they flew, Guardian said something quietly. Thank you, Sung, for finding me, for waking me, for giving me a reason to exist again. You gave yourself a reason, Sung replied. You heard people calling for help and you answered. That is who you are. Yes, Guardian agreed. That is who I was made to be. That is who I will always be. The stars stretched out before them, full of possibilities and dangers. Somewhere out there, 17 more Guardian ships were waking up. 17 more ancient minds were remembering their purpose. And across the galaxy, humans and aliens alike were learning an important lesson. The relics of the past were not just rust and memories. They were still strong. They were still watching. And when humanity needed them, they would always answer the call. The flew on toward the first of its sleeping siblings. The Guardian fleet was waking, and the galaxy would never be the same.